والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Let's bring up our new ayahs, verse 28. It's a bit sad because we only got 2 more to do after today. But alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, it's a blessing from Allah that we've managed to get this far. And may He allow us to see it through till the end, inshallah. Right, okay, so let's start this next ayah. We'll be doing the top row first, inshallah. And I'm gonna break it down first and do like maybe one or two words together and then put it together, inshallah. So let's start with the isti'adha. And so if I can get Sister Nasreen, Auntie Nasreen, sorry, to say the isti'adha with me. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
And then if I can get Papa Ruksan to say the Basmala with me, please. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Jazakumullahu khairan. Sister Mara, if you can do the first line with me. We'll do a couple of words at a time, okay? So the first two, قُلْ أَرَأَيْتُمْ.
قُلْ أَرَأَيْتُمْ.
قُلْ أَرَأَيْتُمْ.
قُلْ أَرَأَيْتُمْ.
Yes, you're tensing a little bit when you're saying this Hamza. The first one's not too bad, but the second Hamza, you're tensing a little bit. So ara, then relax. قُلْ أَرَأَيْتُمْ.
قُلْ أَرَأَيْتُمْ.
That's better. Jazakumullahu khairan. Then we have the next. I'll do it till the name. Lafzul Jalala, the name of Allah. In ahlakani Allahu.
In ahlakani Allahu.
Okay, so don't forget the ha from the bottom of the throat. In ahlakani Allahu.
In ahlakani Allahu.
And I want the kaf fix. So the kaf needs to be, remember, the voice needs to be coming out. I need the same ending that you have in la. I want that same a ending at the end of ka. In ahlakani Allahu.
In ahlakani Allahu.
And then we have wa man ma'iya.
Wa man ma'iya.
Now remember the fatha here again. So wa man ma'iya.
Wa man ma'iya.
At the moment we're hearing mum, right? Ma. Wa man ma'iya.
Wa man ma'iya.
That's better. Aw rahimana.
Aw rahimana.
Aw rahimana.
Aw rahibana.
That's better. Jazakumullahu khairan. Okay, so doing the breakdown now. So we have here the word qul, which we've seen before. The lam is tawassut, and we must keep it nice and light. So you got to remember your little bit of a little bit more of a smile to make sure that the sound can come out. Then we have the word ara'aytum. We have two hamzas here, and hamza are both shidda letters. So for both of these, you have to sort of start the voice You need that sharpness. You can't just say You need that sharpness to it. Qul Then we have a heavy ra, because it has a fatha on top. Then back to sharp hamza again. Ara. Okay, so you've even after your ra, you've got that same sharpness coming back. Again. Ara. And then that hamza is then joined with the ya coming after it, and this ya is a rakhawa letter. So we've got to keep this ya running. Ara'aytum. Try that, Sister Mara.
Ara'aytum.
The second hamza, it can be sharper, but I'm just a bit worried that if you try to make it sharper, you're going to tense up.
Okay.
So try to make it like your first one. Ara'aytum.
Qul ara'aytum.
It's better. Your ta can also be lighter. At the moment you're saying like tu. I want to use the very tip of the tongue. Yeah, so don't use a wide area. Press with just the very tip. Tu, ta, ti, tu, tum. قل أرأيتم.
قل أرأيتم
Mm,
tum
yeah, you're still using. What's happening is when you're doing it, you're when you're saying it, you're using quite a wider area here. You're making all of this press at the top, right? I want you just to make this part here just press at the top. Okay, try ta,
ta
ti.
ti
That one again was wider. Ti, 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 ti.
ta. Okay. Ta ti tu.
Yeah, and for the T, don't press too hard because at the moment you're going T,
Okay.
so gently. T, ta, ti, tu,
Ta ti tu
tum.
tum.
Yeah, it's back to how it was. So you want to make sure that you're saying tu. Remember sorry, I shouldn't have shared screen yet.
Tum.
Remember this part is pressing. Where is it pressing? It's pressing. This is the top jaw. You're pressing it just behind the upper two front teeth. So what's happening is when you end up using too much, when you're using a wider area of your tongue, your tongue ends up pressing all the way here, right? And you're applying equal pressure all the way to the top, which is a different sound. If you use just the very tip, then what's happening is you're making it press, although the tongue is raising, but this part of your tongue is the bit that's applying pressure here, okay? And that's where the pressure goes. The pressure is not spread out through the whole of the width of the slightly back part of the tongue. You want to use just this part and da, 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 ti, tu.
Ta ta ta
It's a bit better.
ta ta.
Now try ti, tu.
Ti tu.
That's
Ti.
a bit.
I'm a bit tense here. Ti. One minute. Ti tu. Ti tu.
Now try tum.
Tum.
Yeah, it's gone back to the way it was before.
Okay.
So
I need practice.
you need to first keep practicing it in isolation. So don't worry about putting it into the word yet. You first need to get comfortable with saying tu on its own. So making sure that as you're walking around the house, as you're doing your chores, da, ti, tu, da, ti, tu, da, ti, tu, then start saying tu, tum, tu, tum, tu, tum. Do it like this, a gradual process. So maybe the whole of today, just keep saying da, ti, tu, da, ti, tu. Right. So remember, you're not pressing hard. It's not something that you press very hard at the top. You press gently. Okay. So it's not with too much force either. So you're not saying da, ti, tu, right? Da, ti, tu. Keep it light. Keep it light.
Da ti tu. Da ti tu. Da ti tu.
It's better.
Da ti tu. Okay.
And remember, da is also a letter of humps. So it's okay to hear, and it's actually it's okay, but you should actually hear a little bit of the breath running with when you're saying the ta. Okay, there should be a little bit, not too much. It should be a ta, right? It shouldn't be too much, but ta, 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 ti, tu. It's supposed to have the
da ti tu. Da ti tu.
It's better. You've made it lighter, alhamdulillah. What I want you to do is keep saying that today, over the course of today.
All right.
Yeah? And then tomorrow, try to say tum. Say ta, ti, tu, tum. Ta, ti, tu, tum. And then the day after, try to say the whole word together.
Okay, inshallah.
But keep doing it. Keep doing it. Don't just do it once or twice over the day. Keep doing it. All right. As you're doing the cooking or something, just keep saying it, inshallah.
Will do, inshallah. Okay. Jazakallah.
Barakallah feek. So we have the tum. The meme here is a tawassut letter, so we don't want to rush it and we don't want to stay on it for too long. Also here, what you've got the meme followed by the hamza. This is an example of idhar shafawi, okay, which means that they are both letters are read independent of each other. There's no blending or no merging of any kind. So we say ara'aytum in. Ara'aytum in. Okay, so they're both very independent. And then the noon is the same. We have the noon followed by hamza again. Although the name is different this time, we call it idhar halqi. The principle is the same in that you still complete the tawassut of the noon, but you keep it independent of the hamza. Okay, there's no blending here. When we are saying the next word, when we're saying ahlakani, we have the ha here. Now the ha is a rakhawa letter. So far, when we've been seeing we saw that we had the ya, which was the rakhawa. Then we followed it by two tawassut letters, the mim and then the noon. and they were held a bit less. But now when we come to the ha, we've got to keep it running again, just how we did the ya. أَرَأَيْتُمْ إِنْ أَهْلَكَنِي. Okay, so you keep the ha running here as well. Okay, then we have la, ka, ni, ya, and then this ya is joint with the lam. This ya is this fatha has been put there because of iltiqa as-sakinain, because originally it was ahlakani with a sukoon, and then because of the two sukoons, we've got the sukoon in the shadda, because of iltiqa as-sakinain, this time the solution is not hadaf. We've seen the solution of hadaf where we drop the letter many times. This is, I think, the first time we're seeing a fatha being added. So this is tahriq bil fath. This is where you're adding a fatha, and it's because this ya is part of the idafa, meaning my or me, sorry, in this case. But that's why in this case this ya has a fatha added. So we say ahlakani Allahu. Okay, so we join this. Let's try saying it from here, Tamara. In ahlakani Allahu.
In ahlakaniyallahu.
So after you say the hamza, I want you to make sure, feel where it's coming from. The place is fine. Your hamza is actually good, alhamdulillah. But for the ha, I want you to make sure you do not move from that place. So wherever the hamza is coming from at the bottom of the throat, you stay in that same location for the ha, and you do not squeeze. You do not tense anything in your throat. So you don't say keep it all open. The throat is all open. Ahlakani. Try that.
Ahlakani.
Again. Okay. That was better. Yes.
Ahlakani.
Yes, that was better. Try aha. First say 3 times. Aha, 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 ah. Then say it together. Try that now.
Aha, aha, aha.
Yes. Okay, stop there a minute. So you're still tense. Relax. Don't tense. You were still tense. You're going aha, 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 aha. Nice and relaxed.
Okay.
Right?
The hamza scares me.
The hamza you managed fine. The hamza was fine.
It's the ha. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't hear it when you joined it. No, it changed. The first one was good, and then the second one, the ha changed.
Jamie.
Yes, I did. So here you want to say aha, aha. So stay relaxed. What's happening is I think you're overthinking it, and you're trying too hard. Just be at ease, and just let it come out very comfortably and with ease. Aha, aha, aha. Just very easy. Aha, 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 ah.
Aha, 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 ah.
Yes, that's better. That's better. But you know, when you were saying the aha bit, as you were getting from the first one was the best, and then the second one you started getting a bit tense, and then the third one you started getting tense again. So you just need to get very relaxed for that, and it will come easier, but it's going to come with practice. So you just got to keep saying it, okay, and you will get comfortable with it. But just remember, you just let it come easy, let it just flow, let it, don't overthink. Yeah, sometimes what happens when a letter is a cause for concern, or a letter that you need to put more effort into, then you end up putting too much effort into it. And with both of these letters, you don't need to put too much effort into it. So you just need to take a step back and relax. Forget all your fears and just say it relaxed. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So moving on. So try to practice this as well. So you've got a couple of things to practice, inshallah, today. Then we have when we join the ya to the lam in the lafz al-jalala, in the name of Allah, here is heavy because it has the fatha. Remember we mentioned about the lam, and we said in the name of Allah only can it change and sometimes be heavy, sometimes be light. Anywhere else in the mushaf, the lam is always light, regardless of what haraka it's got. But in the name of Allah, the lam can then change and sometimes be heavy, sometimes be light. In this case, we are reading it with a fatha before it, and therefore it is heavy. So, and also when we join the lam, we do hold it for the tawassut first. أهلكني الله يالله. See, you're holding the lam first before you go on and say the fatha. Okay, let's try this again. إن أهلكني الله.
إن أهلكني الله.
Better, جزاكم الله خيرا. And then we have the next bit, وَمَن مَعِي. Now here we have a noon sakin rule followed by the meme. This is your idgham because it's part of the next letter meme is part of yarmalun. And then the meme is also part of the word narmal, which means it's idgham kamil. And idgham kamil, in this case, because it's a meme after it, it has a gunna. So this one you hold, okay? It's the longest gunna, so we're going to hold the joining. So we say وَمَن مَعِي وَمَن مَعِي. Okay, try that, Sister Amira.
ومن معي.
Yes, remember, don't forget the fatha. Wama. So when you're saying this, the best way to sort of look at it is when you're saying wa and your lips come out and say wa, you're completing the movement. Stay in that final position to start the ma. Wa ma wa ma. So you're not saying wa ma. Okay. Try to keep your lips in that the width of your lips the same. وَمَن مَعِي.
ومن معي.
Yes, that's better. Okay, now let's go on to the next part when we say أو. When you say أو here, the waw is also rakhawa. So you don't rush again. Don't say أورا. أو. Okay, so we got to keep. So we still have the sharpness of the hamza. أو. When we have the sharpness of the hamza, the sharpness doesn't come from tensing. Okay, the sharpness does not come from any sort of constriction or tightness in the throat. It comes because your voice, at one point, the vocal cords are closed and they open all of a sudden. So you just go, right? So it's about the voice and not about any sort of constriction, okay? And then you keep the waw running. So you say aw, and then we say rahimana. The ra here is heavy because it has a fatha, and then the rest of the letters are nice and light. The noon here is has the alif mud after it, and this is again mud tabi'i, so it's held for 2 counts. So we have to extend the sound of the last part. So let's try this one more time. وَمَن مَّعِيَ أَوْ رَحِمَنَا.
ومن معي أو رحمنا.
Okay, let's try the whole ayah together. جزاكم الله خيرا. قل أرأيتم إن أهلكني الله ومن معي أو رحمنا.
قل أرأيتم إن أهلكني الله ومن معي أو رحمنا.
When you say the O, don't forget the fatha a sound before the waw. أو رحمنا.
أو رحمنا.
Yes, that's better. جزاكم الله خيرا. Okay, so let's go on to the next part now. So, Papa Juksana, if you could do the next part with me, please. جزاكم الله خيرا, Sister Humera. So for this one, we'll say the ayah first. Well, not the whole ayah, of course, the second part of this ayah. فَمَن يُجِيرُ الْكَافِرِينَ مِنْ عَذَابٍ أَلِيمٍ.
فمن يجير الكافرين من عذاب أليم.
من عذاب أليم.
من عذاب أليم.
Just be careful, Papaji. The very last one, this one, is sounding a little bit like a ayn, so relax. من عذاب أليم.
من عذاب أليم.
Better. Okay, let's do the breakdown. We have here فَمَن يُجِيرُ. Now here we have the noon sakin followed by the ya. So this again is idgham. But this time it is idgham naqis because it is not the next letter, which is ya, is not part of the narmal, which are your idgham kamil letters. It's part of the waw and the ya, which is your naqis. And idgham naqis always has gunna. So we don't need to worry about it not having gunna. It always does. So remember here, you're moving from a fatha of the meme, ma. After the ma, your tongue is moving into the position of ya, and you are pronouncing the ya. You're pronouncing the ya, and at the same time, you are applying the gunna from the noon. فَمَن يُجِيرُ.
فَمَن يُجِيرُ.
And the other thing I want you to be careful about here is the dhamma. So you don't want to say yo, you want to say you.
You.
فَمَن يُجِيرُ.
فَمَن يُجِيرُ.
Jazakumullahu khairan. Then the ra here is being joined to the lam in the next word. The ra again here has a dhamma, so it's heavy again. When we join it with the lam, we hold it for the tawassut. Then we have kafirina. We have a mad alif here, which means that we're holding it for 2 counts. And then the fa, of course, is a letter of hams, so we keep it very nice and light, very light touch of the bottom lip to the teeth. Fi, 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 not fi, 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 okay? And then we have al-kafirina. Let's try it till here. فَمَن يُجِيرُ الْكَافِرِينَ.
فَمَن يُجِيرُ الْكَافِرِينَ.
The lam can be a little bit lighter, Pupuji. When we say ruel, so just remember to smile that a little bit more. فَمَن يُجِيرُ الْكَافِرِينَ.
فَمَن يُجِيرُ الْكَافِرِينَ.
And then we have the next part, min adhabin. We have here the noon followed by a ayn. Ayn is a throat letter, so this is again an example of idhar halqi. So again, reciting the noon separately and distinctly, and not merging or blending it in any way with the ayn. So we hold the noon for the tawassut, min adhab, min adhab. Okay, so you don't try to blend with the ayn, it's independent. And then again, we have here a tanween followed by a hamza. So again, this is the same rule. It is also idhar halqi. So again, you hold the bin, the noon sound that you can hear when you say adhabin. This noon, again, you hold it. Min adhabin alim.
Min adhabin alim.
Just remember to relax, Pupuji, for the hamza. So we've got the idhar halki here, we've got idhar here, and then at the end when we say alim, we are pronouncing the meme also with a sukoon. And because there's nothing, we're stopping here, this meme is also going to be recited with the tawassut. So how long we hold the noon sakin here, how long we hold the noon sakin in bin, and how long we hold the meme at the end is all the same time. Min adhabin alim.
Min adhabin alim.
That's better. I just need the flow, Pupuji. I know you sort of had to stop because you wanted to get comfortable and get ready for the hamza. Let's see if we can do it without that break, because we had a little bit of a break here. Okay, we don't want that. Min adhabin alim.
Min adhabin alim.
Let's say it from the beginning of this part now. Let's get rid of this extra habit of making it look a little bit, mocking it too much. Okay. فَمَن يُجِيرُ الْكَافِرِينَ مِنْ عَذَابٍ أَلِيمٍ.
فَمَن يُجِيرُ الْكَافِرِينَ مِنْ عَذَابٍ أَلِيمٍ.
Okay, so if you do find you're running out of breath, that's not an issue, Pupuji, so don't worry. If you do find that you stop, to be on the safe side, it's probably better to at least repeat the word. Minimum is to repeat the word that you're on. If you understand the Arabic, then you can make a better judgment of whether you can start from the next word, because there are cases where you can start from the next word. If you don't know the meaning of what you're saying, then it's always better to at least repeat the word that you're saying. And if you know the meaning, you go back to a sensible place which gives you a complete meaning of what you've just read. So if you do stop, don't worry, but at least just repeat the word. Let's try that again. فَمَن يُجِيرُ الْكَافِرِينَ مِنْ عَذَابٍ أَلِيمٍ.
فمن يجير الكافرين من عذاب عليم.
Again, that last
من
bit.
عذاب عليم.
Better. Relax a bit more for the Hamza. Again, Papaji.
من عذاب عليم.
So what's happening is, when you're saying the Hamza here, it feels like you're widening your mouth quite a lot, so getting ready for the Hamza and say and then because of
Okay.
that you're tensing. So remember, for Fatha you widen your lips a little bit and vertically just a little bit. Min adhabin alim.
من عذاب أليم.
Well done, alhamdulillah. Yeah, mashallah, good, alhamdulillah. Just one other thing though, Papaji, which I forgot to mention earlier, just be careful. This is something you can easily fix, your kasras when you say the fa, especially this one. Just be careful of making that proper E
Like,
sound. The E, because you said al-kafirina, right? Al-kafirina, which you can fix easily, alhamdulillah. Okay, so
الكافرين.
try it again, Papaji.
الكافرين.
Yes, that's better, alhamdulillah. Okay, so let's go back to the top, inshallah, and let's get some practice in. So I hope everybody is also has been already reciting with me, and we'll use this opportunity again to practice even more. So I'm going to ask Sister Hamera first, and then I'll also be asking some of the other sisters, inshallah, if we have time. So Sister Hamera, back to the top. قل أرأيتم إن أهلكني الله ومن معي أو رحمنا.
قل أرأيتم إن أهلكني الله ومن معي أو رحمنا.
Remember, after the ya, nice sharp hamza. وَمَن مَّعِيَ أَوْ رَحِمَنَا.
ومن معي أو رحمنا.
أَوْ رَحِمَنَا.
أو رحمنا.
Jazakumullahu khairan. And Papa Ruxana, the last part. Sister Mary, I didn't take out the ha mistake because I know that this is going to take you some practice. So inshallah, work on this. The ha is still it's going to take you a bit of time to practice that today. But your ta, mashallah, was much better. So well done for that. The ta was better.
Okay, I
Okay.
will practice.
Okay, Papa Ruxana, the last part. فَمَن يُجِيرُ الْكَافِرِينَ مِنْ عَذَابٍ أَلِيمٍ.
فمن يجير الكافرين من عذاب أليم.
Okay, Auntie Nasreen, if we can do the top bit, the first part, please. قل أرأيتم إن أهلكني الله ومن معي أو رحمنا.
قل أرأيتم إن أهلكني الله ومن معي أو رحمنا.
Okay, just be careful. We don't want to make the he long.
رحمنا.
That's better. Okay, so just be careful of this hamza, Auntie, because it sounded a little bit mixed with ayn. So let's try these two. قل أرأيتم.
قل أرأيتم.
You're saying what's happening is that the heaviness of the ra is getting pushed onto the hamza. So after you say the heaviness of the ra, shift back to a light a. أرأيتم.
أرأيتم.
But you're losing a little bit of the ra. أرأيتم.
أرأيتم.
Bit better. جزاكم الله خيرا. And also when you are saying there was something, I can't remember that one, but okay, there was also this one where you're joining the ya to the lam. Remember, both lams, there's two lams you're reciting here. One is the one which is being joined to the ya when you say ahlakani yal, and then the Allahu, then the lam with the fatha. Both of them need to be heavy. So after the ya, after you pronounce the ya, shift to heavy lam mode. Ahlakani Allahu.
أهلكني أهلكني الله.
Much better, much better. The only thing you did now was you broke the lam, so it wasn't a smooth flow, but they were both heavy this time. I'm going to make you say that again, Auntie, because just remember the other thing I wanted to say was the hamza here. I don't want You see that sound of the hamza, the fatha is changing. I want Okay, so remember your slight smile, okay, when you say this, not let your sound come straight out of your lips. In ahlakani Allahu.
إن أهلكني الله.
Allahu.
الله.
That's better.
الله.
وَمَن مَّعِيَ أَوْ رَحِمَنَا.
ومن معي أو رحم أو ومن معي أو رحمنا
أو رحمنا.
أو رحمنا
Sorry, I will do that again. أو رحمنا.
أو رحمنا.
جزاكم الله خيرا. And Sister Radhia, the last part, please. فَمَن يُجِيرُ الْكَافِرِينَ مِنْ عَذَابٍ أَلِيمٍ.
فمن يجير الكافرين من عذاب أليم.
Don't forget that slight squeeze for the ain here. من عذاب أليم.
من عذاب أليم.
Let's do it from the beginning. فمن يجير الكافرين من عذاب أليم.
فمن يجير الكافرين من عذاب أليم.
جزاكم الله خيرا. Allah bless you all. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام.